Noscani Talk, episode 167 of the Pavis Perspective. No Tom tonight. I'm joined by Jordan. I am hosting, as always, sponsored by Better Bytes Computers. I'm using a Better Bytes computer right now, and it's serving me well, Jordan. Jordan, how are we?
I'm good, thank you. Good vlog at the weekend. Enjoyed being on the channel a bit more, focused on a bit more hands-on. So I enjoyed it, and the week's been all right so far. I've got a bit of a leg injury, but it won't put me off from going to Meadow Lane on Saturday.
Good stuff, mate. I'm glad to hear that it's not putting you off. I'm obviously not glad to hear that you've got a leg injury. That'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Before we go on, I would like to say, obviously, the game was delayed, wasn't it, at the weekend due to a Notts fan falling ill. Sort of the latest on that is that he's in a critical but stable condition, and he seems to have improved a little bit. So that's good to hear, isn't it? Before we go on into the football as well, I'd just like to say I'm now father of 3, Jordan.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Last Tuesday, that is, welcomed my 3rd child into the world. Baby Ralph, we called him. So, yeah, another addition. But let's get on to it anyway, Jordan. Let's talk about the important stuff. Let's talk about Newport. Let's go over it. You were obviously at the game. I watched the game. I watched along. I obviously watched your vlog as well. I did a little assessment. I did a match reaction. I enjoyed the game. I did enjoy the game. More so the first half than the second. But you talked me through it. How did you see it at your end?
Oh, the first half, yeah, it was great. Was having a lovely time. It was exciting stuff. First time on the vlog, and I couldn't put my phone away. There was just so many chances, so many instances where we got in dangerous positions. There was really nice patterns of play, and it looked like if we got one goal, it would have been the game there set for the rest of the game, really, because we would have probably gone on to get another one and maybe another one after that. Obviously, it wasn't to be in the end. And you can tell, I think the story from last season was we would start strongly, and at halftime, teams sometimes try and counter that and figures out. And I think that sort of happened. But yeah, the first half, it was great to be back. It was in the sunshine. And the second half just kind of petered out. Everything we did right in the first half, we stopped doing right in the second.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be honest with you. Sort of standout performances that I really enjoyed. I don't know if anyone that's watching now has watched my reaction from the game, but I've said it a couple of times already. Even in pre-season, Dennis has impressed me. How do you feel about Dennis?
I do like Dennis, and I think I said on the vlog around maybe I would like to see him in the 10 rather than the 9. I think he has really good attributes that suit that role. Like when he picked the ball up deep and he ran at the defence, he looks like a player that is not really a number 9 like target man where you get the balls up to him. He likes to be in and around the play, intricate kind of 1-2s and like I said, running at the defence. So I'd actually quite like to see him drop a little bit further back on the pitch. But I know obviously at number 9 at the moment we've not got many options. I know he is a striker, but I think for Carlisle he has dropped deeper. I think playing that kind of Didsy role where he's not the main striker, where he has more freedom to go and roam, I think that would suit him really well, and that's something that I want to see. But yeah, he looked like a bright spark, and I think his attributes do suit the team well. I just think we could utilise them a bit better, maybe.
Yeah, I think you make a good point there, actually. I think that's something that I'd not really thought of myself. I think he does sort of, I mean, it's early days, isn't it? We don't want to get carried away with ourselves, do we? But I think he could potentially sort of nearly fill those boots of McGoldrick, like you said, because he is tricky. He can hold the ball up nicely. And quite a lot of the play was going through him, really. And he's got really good feet, hasn't he? You know, for like quite a tall, like a big player, he's got good feet. Like he's quite tricky, isn't he?
Yeah, I liked watching him play. It looked like when he got on the ball, he wanted to make things happen. And yeah, I just think if he can get on the ball more, it would serve us better. And I think that's more likely to happen if he drops back a bit. I think you could tell he kind of wanted to drift in, I think, and I don't know if that helped Grant and Jody as much, because I think a lot of the time Jody and Grant were further forward than Dennis sometimes. So it'd be interesting to see how the technical board view it and see if they can do anything different. I think we just lacked that clinical edge, and I think playing Dennis in that role, it doesn't really suit the team or suit him at the moment. I think Jatta would have been perfect against Newport. He would have pushed the line a bit further. He would have been a nuisance. I think he would have caused a lot more chaos as that focal point. And then that would have meant that Jody and Grant or Dennis, if he played behind, would have a bit more space and a bit more time to do stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Anything else that you saw when you was at the game that you was particularly happy with or unhappy with? I know I've seen a lot online of not being the kindest to Keel Roos. I think give the guy a chance. Do you know what I mean? He looked fairly good in pre-season, I thought. Probably has a shaky game. There's no denying it. But we're not going to start writing people off after one game, are we? It's the first game of the season. We can't be too hard on these players, can we?
No, you can't. I mean, it is a really difficult situation to be in. A long throw. I think Platt's pushed over and fouled. I think Platt goes for the ball, but by going for the ball, he's also pushed at the same time. He doesn't read the bounce and is not quite aware of his surroundings. And it's not a sort of situation that goalkeepers would probably find themselves in a lot. I think the ball doesn't normally come that far bouncing through from a long throw anyway. So I do want to not get on the back of him too much. This is only his second time really in a game situation playing with the defence as well. I think a lot needs to go on the chemistry that defence has with keepers, understanding how your defenders move, the kind of like way they attack the ball, when they look to you to come and get it, when they look at you to pass it. I think a lot of that it's built on kind of connections and relationships and chemistry, and obviously that's not really there yet. So he is kind of at a disadvantage in that sense. So I think he does need time, and I'm not wanting to jump on the back of saying that he's not good enough already after one game and one mistake. Keepers generally do make mistakes. It's the nature of the game. It's just how it is.
Yeah, we've got Danny waiting to come in now from the One Up Front podcast. We'll bring him in a couple of minutes. We'll just finish talking about Newport. I'm seeing a lot of people saying in the comments here, Platt was sort of pushed in the box before their goal. I can see that. The ref didn't have the best game, I don't think. And I think also trying to be as unbiased as possible, I think the penalty we got, it was a penalty. But you see them not given, don't you? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't the most blatantly obvious penalty. I think Dennis buys it a little bit as well. So I think in terms of refereeing decisions, I think the two main ones in the game, you could sort of write each other off, don't they?
Yeah, they equal each other out a bit. And I think we did deserve the goal. I think it would have been a bit unjust if we came away from that game and had lost and Newport had 3 points. And I think they would say the same. I think that's why, although the penalty might have, like you said, it could have been given, not given on another day, I think Newport fans were okay with it because they realised as well that actually a draw was probably a fair result. Well, a good result for them anyway.
Yeah, and finally, something that I'm seeing a few people put up in the chat here. I'm seeing Gaza mention him here. Grant. Now, he seems to split opinion, doesn't he, Grant? I go through stages myself, to be honest with you. I go through stages where I watch him play and I think some of the positions he's picking up there, like, there's no one like him in the squad. But then sometimes he's getting in these positions where you want players to be and making things happen. And that final ball, normally it's a shot. It's just not good enough. It's not like it's horrific. It's like just not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, the one that plays in my mind is obviously the Wimbledon playoff, the first leg, where he missed, was it 2 or 3 fantastic chances. And then obviously first league game against Newport, he hits the bar and it's a really, really good chance. And he's in a really good position.
Yeah.
And like I said, to be honest with you, people might disagree with me. I think positionally, we don't have a player like him at the club.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think the positions that he gets into and picks up, I think his play is really good. It's just that final ball. But it is whipped at him. It's like the first 10 minutes or so of the game, is it? I'm not too sure. and he doesn't connect with it badly. You can give him that. Like he strikes it quite cleanly. It's just the angle of his foot is slightly up, so it obviously goes up to the crossbar rather than down. But other than that, yeah, I think he had a good game overall. But I think when you get in those positions a lot, people don't think about you getting in those positions. They think about, did you score, or did you actually create something like that came off good, or that ended in a final product. So it's kind of his own downfall in a way that he is good at getting in those positions, because it highlights sometimes is negative as well because he doesn't finish them. But yeah, it's a bit difficult for him. But I think he'll come good.
I think Dog sums it up fairly well there. Great game against Newport, just lacks the finish sometimes, and that's it. That is it. Just want to put this in before we move on as well. And I said, finally, a man who knows ball is on the perspective. Kind Jordan. He's a lovely lad. He is a lovely lad. Chris has nailed the anagram as well. It's actually the second choice of the baby. That's what I wanted the baby to be called, but I got some resistance from my partner. So Elton Pink Viking just wasn't cutting it for her, which you can probably understand. And I'm seeing a few people have actually got the anagram as well. It is I won't say obviously, but it's Kevin Pilkington. So fair play for those that genuinely got that, because I was well happy with myself when I put that one in, and it spewed that out at me. It was a good one. Anyway, let's get Danny in from the One Up Front podcast.
How do?
How are we doing?
I'm rocking and rolling. How are you guys?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you on again. We've had you on a few times already since we've been in League Two.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you back.
No, I always like it. It's always a good chat. But yeah, is Tom abroad somewhere?
He is. I'm not sure which country he's specifically in at the moment, because I've not been keeping tabs on it, but I know he's on like a bit of a cruise, so he's going to a few different ones. He might pop up in the chat and tell us in a few minutes. Who knows? But we'll get straight into it. I want to sort of start from the summer, really. Obviously, it's very early on, isn't it? Second game of the season. And just tell me what your thoughts were with your sort of summer transfer business.
You probably know that I'm not the most positive fan in the world. I always tend to pick us to get beat everywhere, but I'll talk positively, because I think we started well in terms of our recruitment, because we did something we've never done before, as far as I'm concerned, with our recruitment. We actually looked at the division below rather than the divisions above. We got 3 players from the National League, and I thought, all young, 25 and under, and I thought, this is unheard of. Salford are kind of like, they've almost become the poor man's Wrexham. We try and bring in big names, Ben Woodburn, people like that from the Championship, and it doesn't tend to work out. But yeah, I really liked that. I just don't think we've done enough business to make up for the fact we lost about 13 players out of contract. Some were released, whatever. Some retired. Quite a few have gone to Bradford. And yeah, I think we've only brought in about 7. So it does feel like we've got a lot of kids on the bench. And I don't think we've signed anybody this week, that I remember. So we're still as short as we were last Saturday.
Yeah, it's funny that is, because that sort of contrasts with Notts. I feel like we've got quite a bloated squad at the minute. I think we probably could do with losing 1 or 2 players, especially midfielders. I think we've got like 11 or 12 midfielders on the books at the minute, Jordan.
Okay. Yeah, it's getting quite big at the moment. It does need trimming a little bit if you're going to keep players happy and think that they've actually got a chance of playing and get that kind of competition. Yeah, midfield is where we thought we didn't have enough about 2 weeks ago, maybe, and then now it's just every day is a new midfielder coming through the door.
There we go. Before we head on, Tom's actually commented, look, currently sat in a bar in Oslo listening to my favourite podcast. That's beautiful.
I wonder what podcast that is.
Yeah.
Hey, good one. Yeah, so obviously with that sort of transfer business that you've had done, then you said you're liking it. What is the general feel? Because looking at a lot of the prediction video, I was talking to Tom earlier, and obviously watching our video, I think he had Salford in 3rd. So there's a lot of people that are favouring you having a better season.
It's crazy. I mean, and again, it's not just like isolated content creators. So, that there's quite a few that are tipping us in the top 5. I think Bet365 had us in the top 3. Quite a few. And I was thinking, there's no smell of it. I've got almost every rumour coming through to Salford. I'll probably hear second or third hand. I'm hearing nothing apart from players going out rather than coming in. So I'm really pleased with the deal we did to bring back our lone goalkeeper from Sunderland, because I think he's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the division. He got, I think, 8 clean sheets in a run of 9 games last season. So he's absolutely superb. That's great. But I don't see the idea that even though we've got the same manager and we've kept a core of a squad together, third, for me, feels crazy, considering we just scraped outside the playoffs last year, but we're very, very up and down, and we've just got less people this year. Unless, I don't know if you're the same, maybe you've got too many. You're saying you sound like MK Dons last season, just too many players. It's not a great thing, because there's probably might be like Chelsea, we have to have 2 dressing rooms to fit them all in. But anyway, with us, I think we need more bodies, and we did this last year. We brought a lot of probably high earning players in on the deadline towards the end of August. So you're hitting us at a time where we are very, very, very threadbare, I'd say.
And would there be an air of confidence at all, or not?
Not really, because the main reason I would say is that we are dreadfully short in certain areas. Last season, we kind of had a bit of make do amend by having some fullbacks in our back 3 system as centre backs. We got away with it. We seem to be trying to do the same thing again. We've not got 3 specialist centre backs in the first team squad, and we play a back 3 system. So we're going to have to figure out how that works. We have 2 strikers over the age of 17 in the first team squad. That's not enough. What if one goes down with an injury? One's in terrible form. What the hell are you going to do? So I totally understand. Again, I don't know how much it's widely known, but Salford was, before we were kind of retaken over by Beckham and Neville with a new consortium, we were in serious money trouble because we were losing 4 million a year and not getting promoted and not really threatening to. Yeah. I feel there's been a little bit of cost cutting on the, maybe we carry a smaller squad and see if maybe get better players, but less of them, and see if that's going to make a difference. So, but as of Saturday's performance just gone, everyone who was there is head in the hands thinking, this is awful. I'm going on Saturday, so I really hope that's a better game. Yeah.
Well, I hope it's a good game too, but only for us. Talk us through Crewe then. Was you at Crewe?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I personally don't think Crewe are that great. But they looked frigging brilliant against us, and that tells you that your own team either hasn't turned up or there's something wrong at the mill. They just looked like they had a lot of time on the ball, and they looked like they had a plan. Everything looked fluid and smooth and creamy, and we just looked very disjointed. There were 2 players on our team who may be forced to play out of position again against you on Saturday, so watch out for this. They both knew. So the actual squad numbers, I'm terrible at. One of them, I think he's number 21, but he's called Callum Cisse. He's a box-to-box midfielder. We're using him as our second striker because of this striker shortage. He's not a striker. He's not got the touch for it. He struggles at that, but he's very, very good. He's almost like Macaulay Langstaff, but he can only press. Can't do anything else. You know what I mean? Right. He can hound you within an inch of your life, but Langstaff could obviously finish. The other one is a really silky midfielder that we've got, who's having to sub as defensive midfielder, and he's not got the physicality to do it. That's Jorge or George Grant, who we just signed, was released from Hearts. Out of position, he should be further up the field, maybe even as an attacking midfielder. So having 2 cogs in the wrong slots, it just looks off. And I watched it all through pre-season, and I thought, why are we doing this? But basically, we don't have anyone else to fit there yet. So I think we're hoping in some Premier League clubs start throwing us a few bones, and we can start to flesh out the team.
Yeah, it's funny that is, sorry, Jordan, I'll just quickly say, it's funny how everyone can sort of have you playoffs, top 3, and then you sort of talk to someone who's a bit on the inside, like a fan that goes to a lot of the games, and their perception can be completely different. Go on, Jordan, what were you going to say?
Well, I had Salford, I think, in fifth. So I have you making the playoffs. You said they're around Crew had seemed like they had loads of time on the ball. What I remember when we played you is tactically you was great against us. You pressed really well. You didn't
Yes.
have any time to make a pass or get it through the lines. You hounded us, and yeah, it just was amazing against us, really tactically wise. I'm just wondering, do you think the turnover of players has meant that tactically they're not as sound and not as good, or not as good at implementing what the manager wants this time around? Is that maybe start of the season kind of
Killer question. It's a killer question. Honestly, this is. I'm going to hit this out of the park, I think, because it's something I really want to talk about. I think it's less to do with personnel, less to do with individual people in the team, even though there has been a high churn, and it's to do with, even though he's a good coach and he's a good man motivator, is Carl Robinson. I don't think he's found the ability to have us play consistently game in, game out. In that game, you're absolutely right, Jordan. We bullied you, didn't we? You know, and when we do that to teams, we did it to Wrexham. When I forget, they've gone up so far up the bloody leagues, I've forgotten what league they're even in. But the last time they were in League Two, we beat them 3-1, and they took us off the documentary because it didn't fit the narrative, the fact that Wrexham got beat, the pretty boys. So all I'm saying is, on our day, yeah, we could. I don't know what we'll do this season, but last season we could. We beat MK Dons twice, although they fell away and became a bit of a laughing stock. We beat you. We beat some other good teams. Was it 3-0? We beat you.
Yeah, it was the first game.
Yeah. I remember Tom in, I think he put a vlog out after the game. He was absolutely deflated as hell. He was really, really upset. And I think he was looking at it from the Notts perspective in terms of what Notts did. But we didn't let you do that much. But all I can say is, if the bookies are looking at that game and thinking that's our ceiling, well, it is, but it's not one you can count on game in, game out. And honestly, I'd love to say we could, but you can't.
Yeah, so you get up for the big games, basically. I think
sometimes.
I think this time, though, I think it might be a bit different. We look a bit more physical. We look like we won't be bullied and we won't kind of just step off and let you have the run of the game. So I do hope that does change. And I'm sounding a bit positive because from what you're saying, we might be able to have a better game than what we're used to. Normally it's a bit difficult. I did have some questions actually from the Crew game because Stockton came off at half time. Was there any reason why he came off at half time?
Because he's shite.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, right. I'm not usually this forthright. I'm usually quite. I'm usually a bit nicer than this. But the thing is about Cole Stockton is that a lot of people have looked. I've seen it on quite a lot of Twitter feeds in the previews of like what Salford can expect this season. As long as Cole Stockton has another good year, he was absolutely terrible. But he scored. I think he got 16 goals, and that might make me sound like a spoilt brat who wants an extra packet of sweets and he's never satisfied. But the guy does not run, and that is something that I cannot abide. And I've mentioned him already once, but for me, Macaulay Langstaff, a mobile, pressing, hard-working forward, is my dream. I've always loved that style of player, and we signed one who's closer to that ideal, Jay Bird, who was at Rochdale last season, but he's not got that pace and that real work ethic yet either. So, Cole Stockton. Great numbers. You might want to mention another player who we don't have anymore because I'm so pleased he moved on. Hakeem Bedelaken, massive reputation. He's played for Doncaster, and he was with us. And apart from I think he got 13 goals, 5 of which were penalties. Again, he was a left wing back who never tracked back, and there were so many errors and so many defensive overloads that were caused by his lack of work ethic. I never want to see him in a Salford shirt again. I just want him to get signed by somebody else. I'm finished with that. But we do have some good players that I really like, and I'll just quickly talk about 2 of them if that's all right.
Is it going to be one of them Longello or Longello? I don't know. I'm not sure. No.
I like him. He's not in my top 3 though. Unfortunately for us, our top 2 really, apart from Kelly and Mai, who's just working his way back from fitness, who some clubs like Burnley were after, Bolton were after. So clubs in higher leagues. Osama Ashley is our absolute destroyer in defensive midfield. He's out for 4 weeks with some kind of injury. My personal belief is he's actually going to be moved on and sold this season because he's out of contract at the end of the year. And I think we're going to cash in on him, which breaks my heart. And the other player who's out for 4 to 6 weeks is our absolutely... He just does everything. Right wing back. He's got great spring in the air, great header, brilliant ball carrier, very strong, up and down, very athletic. Haji Minoga, who used to play at Aldershot. They're both out of the team for this month. We have to sign replacements or have to get loanees in. You're not going to see those on Saturday. Without them, and Kelly and Mai still not fit enough to start, what would you be like with your 3 best players? What would you be like?
Yeah.
It's not the same. We're not the same outfit. We're not the same kind of proposition as we would be with them in the team.
It sounds like your first 11 would be great, but what you're saying is outside of your first 11, you're kind of not a completely different team, but you look a lot different on the pitch, which is your problem at the moment because your first 11 isn't all fit. So we're kind of playing you at probably the best time of the season, which I thought was going to be a tricky time to play with, obviously a new manager and things like that, and trying to get off to a good start, especially the 2 games we had against you last season. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, negative for you, but I'm sounding quite positive about. I feel quite positive now about the weekend. Where actually I thought this could be a really big game to start off Martin Patterson's kind of Notts County career. So. Good insight to have. And
you're getting ahead of yourself, George.
don't
get too excited. We're Notts County.
It's still got to happen. I mean, it's still the actual the procession that we all expect to happen, which is probably a Notts County win. Don't want that, obviously. It's still got to happen because it's 11 against 11. But it does feel like the evidence suggests that you're on a. I mean, I just want to say this other thing. I was looking at SofaScore earlier on. I love from what I've seen what you're trying to do. You dominated possession, which is, not always a massively important stat, well over 60%. But I love the fact that when I saw your, it looked like a back 3 really, because one of your defenders was very rarely in your own half. The guy up on the right side, no idea of his name. Your right back.
Potter.
Yeah, he looked like he was never in his own half. But I suppose if you're dominating possession and territory, and you had 3 in your own half, you were pressing with 7. It looks like it's what we're trying to do, but we don't have enough animals to actually be able to chase other teams down yet. But I do think that we'll try to do to you what you're going to try and do to us, but you probably got the squad to do it at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest with you, all I can see is George Grant ripping us apart because he used to play for Notts, and players that used to play for Notts tend to do that when we play against them. I'll just get this comment in here. I like this Salford guy. Can we get him on more often? Yeah, he's a great guest. Here you go. You love by the Notts on.
But I only know about one team, so that's it.
Yeah. Couple of more questions then from me. I know you've mentioned a couple of players that you talk about being key players, but they're obviously out. Give us a player to watch out for.
I'm going to say the goalkeeper. It sounds negative, but the guy's a legend. If he's not the next Oliver Kahn, if he's not the next international playing in Europe, our absolute number one at England level by the time he's about 25, I will be extraordinarily surprised because he's got the feet of a midfielder. He's a brilliant distributor. He's only 18. I think he's still 18. He'll be turning 19 in a month or two. England under 20 goalkeeper, presence for days. And last season he proved, although he conceded 8 against Man City, but that was because we faced a hell of a lot of chances. It wasn't particularly his fault at all. He is an incredible goalkeeper, and you'll probably, if you create a lot of chances, see him do a lot of decent stuff.
It's funny. You say he was on loan from Sunderland, didn't you?
That's it.
Yeah, we had Anthony Patterson on loan when we were in the National League,
wow.
And there was a bit of a he came in, didn't he, Jordan? And then he went back, and then he came back, and then he went back. And like the second time he was there, I think he was only there for like a game or two, but he was phenomenal. Like he's probably the best keeper that I remember seeing Notts have probably since like Ooh,
Kasper
probably
Schmeichel.
Barkowski. maybe Schmeichel. Yeah, you could make an argument for that, but yeah, he was class. And finally, then we'll let you go after this one. A score prediction for the weekend.
Well, I'm going, you see, so I want it to be worth me while going on the coach all that way and all the way back. I've never been to your ground either before, so that's going to be interesting. But you're asking for a prediction, and I'm stalling for time. I think we're going to score. I've got a feeling we're going to score. I think we're probably going to lose 2-1. I think we'll get overwhelmed. Something silly will happen. We seem to defend our penalty area and especially our 6-yard box very, very poorly. It was all the way through pre-season and against Crewe. Balls, low cutbacks across our penalty area. Absolute nightmare. If your manager's listening, I always give the game away every single time. I tell them what they need to know. So, yeah, maybe a 2-1 loss, but I'll write my blog on the way home and get it posted up for people. So give me something to do.
Nice one, mate. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Pleasure.
Enjoy your day in Nottingham on Saturday. Obviously not too much.
Yeah.
But enjoy. Thanks for joining us again, mate.
Cheers now. Bye now.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye. What a guest, Jordan.
Yeah, great guest. Get him on every week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's a shame we're not a Salford podcast, isn't it? So we can't get one every week.
Yeah. Never mind.
But look, we are who we are. We're Notts County fans, aren't we? Just maybe looking now. Yeah, Dog says Sunderland churning out keeper after keeper. Patterson, Bass, and the lad at Salford. Wonder who's next. It's a good point. I was thinking that myself. Like, they are churning out some absolute top quality keepers, aren't they? And it's funny how two of those ended up at Notts at some point in their career, isn't it? Right then, Jordan. One thing I want to talk to you about, sort of something that's niggling after the Newport game, is reoccurrences from last season. I know we're only one game into the season. We played one game, but it looked to be sort of similar, didn't it, to a lot of what we saw last season, where we'll play really well in the first half and then have a poor second half. Do you think it's too early to be sort of worried about that, or?
I think it is a bit too early. I mean, it's one game. I hate making kind of assumptions on how the whole season's going to go after one game. But yeah, there was a lot of carryover from last season. Same formation. I think in the pre-season, we was wondering, will we switch it up? Will we look at a different formation? And we lined up with the same formation. Certain points of the play or way we play were the same. But yeah, I think it's one game. It's difficult to tell. But I did hate that feeling of being up at halftime. Well, not up at halftime, but like feeling really positive at halftime. And then the second half starts and it's a completely different game. I think Walsall at home, there was a few other games at home where we just about got it over the line, but still again came out poorly second half. I don't know if it's because maybe the players, maybe they feel really confident because they've just had a great first half. And so they don't set themselves up well to be prepared for when the other team come out and challenge them and come back at them, because we're already thinking, well, we've got this, we're going to go and win. And actually no team really lies down, do they? At halftime it's their chance to come back at us, and I think that's what happened a lot last season. I'm hoping we don't see a repeat of that too often this season.
Yeah, look, Dogs, I agree with you again. Our issue on Saturdays going forward, currently we don't have an out-and-out striker on the sub bench that can come out and turn the game on its head. It's a good point. It's something we're lacking. There seems to be a lot of rumours, doesn't there, at the minute about the Notts being fairly active in the market. I know we're eyeing up a striker from is it the Irish League, is it, or is it the Scottish League?
He was in Ireland, he's moved to Scotland, but he is Northern Irish, I think. So
yeah, Keenan, isn't it?
Ronan Hale, I think it is, isn't it?
Ronan Hale, that's it. Hale. I mean, obviously you watch these clips of these players, don't you? And it does look exciting. We'll see. I think if we can bring him in, it's definitely that sort of player that sort of Dogs just talks about there. That can probably flip a game on its head and maybe even come in and be the main striker. Also, there's transfer rumours of Archie Mayer. And this is an interesting one for me because it seems to be quite from what I've seen online, like on X mainly, it seems to be quite a strong link, doesn't it, with us? I know he's a free agent at the moment. I don't know if it's just going to be sort of one of those where we bring him in for a year and just let him sort of be number 2, number 3, and sort of they all sort of push each other type thing. But you'd wonder the dynamic, wouldn't you, for bringing in Archie Mere? So then you have Griffiths, you have Roos, and then you have Archie Mere, who I know Griffiths is coming on the premise of being sort of a number 2, but he's going to want to play. What footballer doesn't want to be in the first team? So what do you think? What do you think of that dynamic? Do you think it could change so early on into the season? Do you think we could potentially see Griffiths go out on loan? Maybe I'm not sure. It's a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is a funny one, and I'd hate to see what happened in our first season back in League Two, where we were swapping keepers every so often. I think how can you be confident your defenders be confident when you're swapping keepers every 2-3 games? And I just think keeper is one place that you want to be kind of locked down for most of the season. If you're changing keepers, it kind of signals that you've got it wrong, I think. And with Roos just coming in, he's probably been promised. Well, maybe not promised, but he's expecting to be number 1. If you bring Mayer in, he probably wants to be number 1 as well. And the fans, as soon as Roos maybe makes more mistakes or doesn't have a good game, they'll be calling for Mayer to come in. And I just think it puts unneeded pressure on Roos a little bit. I know people say professional footballers should be able to deal with pressure, and sometimes people can thrive under it. But I just think for confidence-wise, it probably wouldn't be good at this point of the season. But we do need someone that can challenge him, whether that's Mayer or not. I'm not sure, because it makes me. I wonder why hasn't any other National League side signed him? Why has no other club signed him? Because does it mean, is he actually not going to be good enough to come in and be number 1? Does he need to develop more? I'm all for bringing him in and developing him more, but yeah, there is still some questions there. Obviously, we love him for the penalty save, but I'm not sure quite what would happen if we signed him.
Yeah, it's definitely a funny one. We all have an affinity with him, don't we, because of those superb penalty saves at Wembley. That sort of penalty save where he saves it with his legs, like etched into my memory. Like I can envision it now. I don't need the picture. I can literally see it in my mind. Do you know what I mean? So there's not many moments like that in football. Do you know what I mean? Where you can envision it. And I know his saves technically did win us the playoffs, but it's Scott's penalty that actually went on to win us the playoffs, isn't it? But those penalty saves were just, they're etched in your mind, aren't they? But
yeah, it's iconic.
You think about the season running up to that, he didn't get that much playing time, did he? He wasn't like a regular starter. I mean, he very, very rarely played. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think he started 3 games, did he?
No, I think there was a time where we thought he'd come in and push Slocum out, but was it where he gave a penalty away? Or there was like loads of penalties in the game? I can't remember. And he did all right, apart from did something to give a penalty away. I can't quite remember, but then he didn't keep the number 1 shirt and kind of went back to being on the bench. So did he have enough chances? I'm not sure. There's some clips from him at Gateshead where he's made outstanding saves as well. But then again, why have Gateshead not renewed his contract? It's difficult to know.
Yeah, that's obviously another concern, is that why has nobody else snapped him up? It's a funny one, isn't it? But we'll move on to that. Venoms has just put in the live chat there. We've got that ex-Arsenal Academy player on trial, don't we? I cannot remember his name. Someone put it in the live chat if you can remember his name. But I was sort of looking at his numbers, and they're a little bit odd, aren't they? They don't really look as promising. It's probably another player that has potential. But I feel like we have a lot of that at the squad at the moment, because we have a lot of loan players, don't we?
Yeah, I think, didn't I say, I looked at it and he's been with like 7 clubs and he's 24, is he, or 22? I'm not sure. He's been with 7 clubs by the age of 24, which to me is quite a worrying thing. I mean, I'm not going to say it means like all sorts of stuff, but if someone's not had, I think it was where he's not had more than 1 season at a club as well. So that's another indication. Okay, why is that? Why has no other team signed him past 2 years? Why has he not stayed on it? There's things like that I mean, maybe other people might not take much care about, but it kind of makes you question
That was it.
Why?
Tyrese John Jules.
Yeah, John Jules. Yeah, it just makes me wonder what's gone off for him to not keep or stay at a club for more than one season, or why has no one seen something in him before to keep him around and develop him and give him more of a chance. So
yeah. Look, we've got a game on Tuesday, haven't we? So we'll sort of go over that in a moment before we go on to our lineup, how we want to line up for Salford. Jordan, I'll let you go for it. I'll let you run through your team, and then I'll let you know if I disagree with anything or agree with anything. So run through. Tell me who you want in goal. Tell me who you want from top to bottom of the pitch and what formation.
well, I'll go formation first, so you know what it's going to look like. I think we'll stick with the same formation. I don't know how we would set up otherwise at the moment. I haven't really thought about it too much. We still look good in the first half, so happy to go with the same formation. I'll go Roos in goal. Yes, he could have done better with the goal, but he did all right. He could have been better, but I think you stick with him. We've gone with him. You can't drop him. You can't drop him after that when it's not.
I agree. Yeah.
Very bad game. Right wing back, I'd go Cotter. Again, he was great going forward, really energetic, a lot of speed and pace. Tried to get him behind and linked up quite well with Jody at times, which was good to see. Right centre back,
Al Joffrey.
Yeah, Al Joffrey, solid again. Didn't really put a foot wrong. He had a bit of a difficult time dealing with Reindorf, is it? The guy from Cardiff? I'm not too sure. And seemed to deal with him okay. I think that the three centre-backs had a good game. It was just that one incident in terms of the throw-in that caused the issues. I think they were solid for most of the game. I mean, they didn't have to do loads, but they kept up well with the pace of play, dealt with any counter-attacks. So Platt in the middle, and then Bedu, they kind of route themselves, really, don't they? Left wing back, I don't know the injury time frame with Cerula. I don't know if we know much around Cerula.
Edit that one.
Yeah.
What was his injury? It was quite a minor injury, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think he's had. Has he had surgery?
He has had surgery, but it was only minor, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know that they haven't shared kind of the time frame to expect him back, have they? So I'm not sure.
Appendix. That was it. Appendix.
Yeah, I don't know the recovery time for that, to be fair. Left wing back. I'm trying to. I know this. Yeah, I don't think he did much against Newport. There were spells, but I think you'd have to go with Gordon. But
yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't mind if I'm going to mix up. Right, I know we're doing my first 11 or whatever, but if we played Jody at left wing back,
you've lost your mind. You've lost your mind.
But I think we can't at the moment because we don't have Jatta. I think if we had Jatta, it would be a bit easier to do that and then have a bit of a different outlook up front. But yeah, we'll go Gordon left wing back. Appender centre mid, outstanding. Looked amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe we've got him on loan from a League One club.
He could play for a League One team.
That's what I mean. I think we'll have to play him while we can because
hopefully
he's impressed me already. I know it's early days, but he's impressive.
Yeah, I love he's really tenacious, isn't he? Just gets stuck into everything. Really wants to drive forward.
Bit of a Yaya Toure.
Yeah, he did give kind of Yaya Toure vibes, to be fair. I'll give you that one. Good shout. I'd go Palmer next to him. Palmer had a lot better game than he had towards the end of last season. Looked a bit more of himself. I think he likes the more fast-paced, get the ball down, play it quick, and not have to kind of look around and think about it for so long and slow the play down. He really got on the ball and looked like he just wanted to get it moving every time. I really liked it. So again, I'd start him in the midfield. I know obviously we've got some new signings, but a bit difficult really. And then we've got Jody in the 10 with. I don't know if you would start one of the new lads or not.
So your midfield so far, you've got Appender, you're going Palmer as well next to him, yeah.
Yeah, Palmer next to him.
Then Jody, obviously.
Yeah, and then
I think you have to put Grant in there.
Yeah, I actually think you can't really move away from the team that started.
I agree.
I think because of that first half, I know second half we dropped off. Because of the first half, you have to give them another go. I think they deserve another chance at showing that they deserve that spot. Before you start giving it to one of the lone players, I think it's too early to drop one of them. I think you need to kind of show that you have confidence in those starting 11 that was at Newport, and see what they can do again, and give them that fair chance.
Yeah, I agree. So you basically sticking with the same thing.
Yeah, I could have just said that from the start.
Yeah. Only took you 15 minutes to say that.
Could have saved us all a whole lot of time.
No, you know what? I agree with you. I mean, the only difference that I probably have is, and someone said it here. No, Bennett. I think Bennett he's got a lot of potential, but I think he's definitely one of those players that's good off the bench.
Yeah.
So inject him into the game. I think maybe a bit later on when there's some tired legs, because imagine being a fullback and then looking over and then you see him come on and you're just thinking, oh.
I think as well, Tyrese Hall could probably slot in quite easily. He's fit enough because he's obviously been pre-season with Spurs. But like I said, I think if your manager dropped you after one game for a lone player that's just come in, I don't think that would be great. I mean, some people be like, oh, it's cutthroat business, whatever. But I think if you're looking at the morale over a season, I think if you dropped one of the players now, I don't think it sends a great message. So I think you would change it second half if it's not going great. But I think the first 11, yeah, definitely just back them again and see what they can do.
Yeah, I know you're feeling confident for Salford now. We'll quickly go over Wigan. What do you think?
Yeah, I haven't really looked into it too much. It's one of those fixtures where it gets drawn and I'm just like, oh, okay. Right. I mean, Wigan's not a bad place, I suppose, to go up and have a game. Don't know much about them since they came out of the Prem. Only know, obviously, when they had, was it Will Grigg? That's the last thing I know about them. I think they've kind of gone into mediocrity a little bit, haven't they? And I don't know if any Wigan fans are watching. I don't want you to start hating on me for that, but or take that badly. I just think if they were a big team once and it did have a bit of an attraction about it, but now it doesn't attract me to want to go up to Wigan on a Tuesday night, apart from maybe a Wigan kebab. That's the only thing that I'd go for.
No, I know they had some difficult years, Wigan did, didn't they? So
yeah.
Look, I have some fond memories of I think, did we beat Wigan 2-1 when we had Lee Hughes? I'm sure it was Wigan. But yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? It's the AFL Cup. It's very early on in the season.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, if I was to say, I think Patterson would probably say that he takes every game serious. He wants to have that winning mentality, doesn't he? He wants everyone to be winning. He wants us to be winning week in, week out. I just wonder how we'd line up for that. Do you know what I mean? I'd wonder how he's going to set out for that, because surely he's not going to go like full strength as in that cup. He
might do, because you could see it as we're early in the season. It could be a way to still build fitness up. But I think it's a good opportunity to see what some of the lone players can do. Have Luca come in, have Bennett's play. I know he's not a lone player, but have Bennett's play. Maybe try something different. Like I said, have Dennis in the 10, but I mean, who do you put in the 9 then? It's a bit difficult. And play Tyrese Hall. Does Macari play? I'm not sure, but maybe Ness.
Yeah. I'd change it up. I think I'd completely change it up as well, because I think we have a big squad, so we may as well utilize it and get those players that aren't going to get much game time, if we're going to be honest, in the league. Up and running in the cup competitions. Jordan, then I'm going to push you for a score prediction. A for Salford and obviously for Wigan. And then you go first. I'll give mine after.
Okay, Salford. It might have changed a little bit since we've had our guest on. I think, let's go with same scoreline they suffered defeat with last time round. 3-1 Notts.
3-1 Notts.
Yeah, against
Goal
Salford.
scorers.
Jody, Grant,
Unless
and
you don't get a goal.
yeah, it will be Jody, Grant, and Dennis. The front three, basically.
And Wigan.
Wigan, they're not a bad side, I don't think, at the moment. I think they've kind of pulled themselves together a little bit. I know they had their wobbles, but I think they are starting to get a bit better. So I'd like us to score a goal. I'd say maybe we'll probably lose to that. I know we don't predict losses very often on this channel, and I don't want to start that as a new thing, but I wouldn't mind a 2-1 loss, but with a good performance and showing some good signs with some of the new lads.
Martin Patterson won't be happy you saying that, mate. Winning
I'm not
mentality.
saying. I'm not saying.
You won't mind us losing. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. My score predictions. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go 2-1 Notts. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I know Danny was saying earlier on that they've got their problems. They've got players missing and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's early in the season for us as well. I think it's easy to get ahead of yourself, isn't it, when other teams have injuries and stuff like that? But it doesn't always pan out like that.
Yeah.
So I think I still think we'll win, but I think we'll just scrape it. I can see Grant getting a goal. I really can, and I can see Joey scoring as well. Won't mind Dennis getting a goal, and then I'm going to go 1-0 against Wigan.
1-0 win. You don't think we'll get these?
Yeah. Poll question. Nearly forgot, Jordan.
You're not used to doing a video without Tom. That's what it is.
I know, I'm missing him loads.
Yeah.
Will Notts score more or less goals than last season? We scored 68 goals last season. I'll put in brackets. More gets 58%. Less gets 42%. So it's a pretty close one. What did you vote, Jordan?
At the moment in time, no. We won't.
No.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But that could easily change. I think that's reflective.
I put more. I'm quietly confident about this season. I'm quietly confident. Early doors, I know, and I can be made to eat my words and things like that, but I am confident for this season.
It just all depends on that number 9 position. I think we're quite light in someone that I see being prolific. I know we've got Jatta, but we're missing him for 5 games. And if he gets injured, then what I saw at Newport was I'm not going to say I'm worried, but because I'm not, but it did give signs of that if we don't have that physical big number 9 who's stretching teams, I'm a bit skeptical at the moment. Let's put it that way. I'm not worried, I'm just skeptical.
I think we're like a quick striker away from being a really, really good squad. But that's the video anyway. If you have enjoyed, drop us a like. Thanks to everyone for joining us. We've had some big numbers tonight. Sitting at 200 live viewers on YouTube and nearly 500 in total on X and YouTube. Thanks for joining us, Jordan. Thanks for stepping in while Tom's been away. Hope everyone's enjoyed watching, and I will see you next week.